Hey everyone, got an interesting test to run today. We're gonna put the EcoFlow Wave 2 through its paces in heating mode. It's plenty cold outside, 31 degrees last time I looked. And if you look out the window here, you can see we've actually got snow on the ground, even though it's sunny. Nothing's melting or anything because it is very cold. Now we've got this set up so that both the intake and exhaust pipes are going out the window. There's no way for it to auto evaporate the condensation that gets generated during heating mode, and so you need to have a drain. So we've got the drain going into the bucket over here. Then we've got the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max right here, and that's what's going to be powering the Wave. We're going to be doing two tests. We're going to do it on turbo mode, the hottest, highest setting it can go, and see how long a full charge on this Delta 2 Max lasts. And then we're going to repeat the same test on eco mode and see how much longer runtime we get. The other thing I want to see is, does this even work when it's this cold? Technically, and I'll put a screenshot up here, according to the manual, anything below 41 degrees Fahrenheit does not work. And obviously we are a full 10 degrees below that today. So there's a chance that this will just stop working or not produce any heat or anything, which would be good to know as well. I've got this camera set up. It's going to monitor the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max and this timer. Turn this on. Alright, we're going to go to heat. Make sure it's turned up all the way. And we're going to put it on max mode. Alright, we've been running now for, I don't know if you can see that, 26 minutes, almost 27 minutes. Our intake air temperature is, so we can get this, 70 on the dot, high 69 there, 70, so let's just call it 70. And so far our outlet temperature is actually doing pretty good, 107.6. Now there is a little bit of a discrepancy between what this calibrated thermometer is saying versus what the app is saying. The app, you can see, is saying 104.6. The ambient air temperature, the app is saying 74.9. And obviously it's more like, looks like it's registering about 71. Now another observation, make sure that you don't have like curtains or anything on this that would be affected with moisture. I don't know if you can see, but there is a whole bunch of condensation building up on the side of this unit and on this discharge hose in particular. But there's some building up on the intake hose here as well, just because of how cold it is, and the moisture in the warmer air in here is building up on it. So you could get some dripping. Certainly if anything that is absorbent is up next to it, that will wick that moisture right up, and you'll have moisture issues, so bear that in mind. We've got it here on the side. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got it on the back as well. So just kind of this whole back end that is the cold end in heat pump mode is getting kind of condensation-y on the outside. Not to mention what's happening on the inside. We don't have any water in the bucket yet, probably because the drain pan is still working on filling up. I'm suspicious, and we'll see if this is indeed the case, I'm suspicious that this unit doesn't have a built-in defrost mode, like a lot of cold weather heat pumps do. We'll see. And so I'm suspicious that coil is going to build up with frost and ice, and that's going to affect the efficiency and cause it to not produce as much heat. But let's see. We'll give it some time here. Let's go outside though and take a temperature reading out there quick. Our ambient temperature is 33 at the moment. I got my little thermocouple up there in the discharge air stream, and we're discharging about 30-degree air at the moment. And again, just to show that it is indeed cold, yeah, we've got snow on the ground. Definitely nice and chilly today. Just a fast update. We're still in the 71 degree range for our return air temperature right there. Our supply air temperature is still looking pretty good at 106.9. About halfway done. The power station here is showing about 51%. Just to show you once again, be sure and be prepared for moisture issues. This is condensating and sweating extremely bad. Down here, we've got some drips that have been running down here. Looks to be the same over here. The hose is developing a lot of large drips of water on it as well. And then the input hose here, same thing, developing quite a bit of condensation from the cold outside air. So that could be a problem. Obviously some kind of insulation or something would help with this. I like to do all my tests with what comes in the box. Can I make this work without adding additional stuff to make it work, if that makes sense. And we did get a little bit of water in the bucket here, so it is draining some of the internal condensation, so that's good to see. One more quick thing, it just stopped blowing. There's no more air blowing out. I can hear the compressor running. We're starting to run. So I think this does have a defrost system. In fact, yep. I don't know if you can see, but water is coming out quite a bit down there in the bucket. So it does appear that this unit has a built-in defrost system, which is good. It needs to have that when you're dealing with cold temperatures and heat. So I'm happy to see that. But during defrost, nothing happens. There's no air blowing out here, which is good from the standpoint that you don't get any cold air blowing out at all. It'll probably just run its defrost cycle here for a second, and then it should be back up to heating. Okay, so just finished defrost, and the fan turned on briefly, and I did feel some cool air coming out, so it did indeed reverse the process and do a defrost on the coil back here. So that is a very good thing to see. And now it's starting to produce heat again. So that was one of the things I was curious to see, is if it actually did do a defrost cycle. And it does. So that is great to see. Alright, I'm a minute or so late, but 4 hours, 56 minutes. And you can see that the Delta 2 Max is fully depleted. That is the runtime we got in a warm room already with low 30-degree ambient air temperature. You can still see that there's snow outside, and this time is with the EcoFlow Wave 2 on max mode. So our next test will be running it on eco mode. Okay, we've reset things a little here. Charge the Delta 2 Max back up. As you can see, it is now nighttime. We'll go outside momentarily here and take a temperature reading. We're going to now do a test to see how this does overnight running on eco. This battery should, in theory, run this all night and then some. Again, we're here to test and find out if that's true or not. And then we'll also see what kind of temperatures and stuff we're getting on eco mode as well. And then once again we'll time it and see what our actual run time is over here. We're going to go ahead and set it to the max temperature here that you can. But notice the little leaf there, it is on Eco. We've been going now for 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes in Eco mode. And the room temperature is 69.4 degrees, 69.8, bouncing around a little bit, and that's getting taken right at the return air there. And our discharge air temperature here is, I don't know if we can see that, 104.7. So definitely putting out warm air here. Let's see how that agrees with the app. 104.7, and the app here is saying 101.1. Ambient air temperature saying 73.8, and again we're measuring 69.6. But seems to be working. Let's take the thermometer outside and see what kind of stuff we're getting there. Okay, here we are outside. I don't know if you can see, but we've got a little bit of snow still on the ground here. Nice and cool. Temperature wise, 32.4. It's nearly 10 degrees under what the Wave is rated for. And there's the discharge right there. Okay, just by way of comparison, I have this mini split style heat pump. You can see there's still snow present. And if we come up here and turn this on, well, we're about 34 degrees. So plenty chilly out here, still well below 41. And similar to what the EcoFlow Wave was running in. Slightly warmer, but not very much. This unit is rated to work down to -22 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's just go in and see what kind of temperature, heat-wise, this unit is putting out inside, just for a fun comparison. I just got this cranked all the way up as hot as it will go, just like I did on the EcoFlow Wave. And if you can see, my light just went off. There we go, 127.2, so quite a bit more heat getting pumped out of this mini split heat pump versus the EcoFlow Wave. Now again, this is rated for extra cold temperatures, but just a good example of what that difference is between a heat pump that's not rated for extreme cold temperatures and a heat pump that is. All right, guys. Well, that basically wraps up the testing this go around. Hope you enjoyed it. You can just take a look here at the water level in this bucket. There's probably a good ½ inch in the bottom of that bucket. So definitely be sure and have something sufficient to capture the water. I live in a dry climate, so if your climate is humid, you'll probably get even more water than I did, so just bear that in mind. I was actually quite impressed by this unit's performance. I think the fact that it already had a warm room to work in is what made it function even when the temperatures were below spec outside. So if you're trying to, warm up a room from 35 degrees, you may struggle with that. And that might be an interesting test to do in the future. So let me know down in the comments if that would be something you'd be interested in, to have me, take this out to my car, for example, or something, and test it and see if it can make any kind of difference heat-wise. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's 100% free and doesn't impact you at all, but really helps the channel out. Subscribe if you really enjoy this kind of content, and we'll catch you next time.